from meteorologist Nakandra Norwood.
All right, we got a lot going on today. We will start with our new tropical depression, and it kind of looks like that on satellite, right? You got that bright pink center. Tropical depression 3, slowly moving to the north. Now, registering the winds at 35 miles per hour. That's why we have it as a tropical depression, but the forecast does make it a tropical storm. Would become Tropical Storm Chantal before making a landfall along the Carolina coast. And that's what's important, is that this is out here on the Atlantic side of Florida, Carolinas. There's your watch area. Right now, this does not look like it has any impact towards the Gulf side, but letting you know it's out there and letting you know if you start hearing chatter about it, this is what they're talking about. That's that tropical depression. Now, if you got a trip to Florida this weekend, I know a lot of folks heading out there, well, you may run into some heavy rainfall because it is pulling that Gulf moisture across the peninsula. This is what it looks like on your visible satellite. There's that spin. And what the Hurricane Center is looking for is to see that closed circulation with the increase in wind speed. You get up to that 39, 40 mile per hour range. That's when we have Tropical Storm Chantal. The big weather story, though, yeah, we talk about this, but gosh, devastating impacts across central Texas. That's the rain there. This is where we've seen those reports of more than 10 inches of rain. They still have flood warnings going, and it's still raining in parts of this area. This is just north of San Antonio, west of Austin. You see that spin. That's the low that's helping to trigger all that heavy rainfall. And, you know, when you've had drought, the ground's hard. It doesn't absorb the rain as quickly, and it makes a lot of runoff. So that's why they've had so many problems with the flooding there. When you look at the setup, well, we're right in the middle. We got low pressure back here to the west. There's low pressure over here to the east with that depression. High pressure to our north. This is actually triggering a northerly northeast wind for us. That brought in some drier air. It didn't feel so oppressive out there today. And I think we'll get one more day of that as we look at our local weather going through this evening and into Saturday. So it's still hot. And that's why we were saying, oh, looks like heat wave because you're going to have less rain around. But with that drier air, that less humidity in the air out there, it actually felt pretty good today. And we're going to keep that. You see the deep oranges and the dark colors in here? That's going to stick around for at least one more day before we get into some of that moisture return and we end up with more typical summer rain coverage around here to finish out the weekend. So tomorrow, we're going to take it down to that 20% once again. Yeah, we had a few spotty storms around today, but they moved through quickly. We'll elevate that for Sunday and Monday, and then we're going with a dip again for your Tuesday and Wednesday, middle of the week. Now, remember, when those the rain coverage comes down, usually our temperatures come up. Didn't work out so much like that today because we did have that drier, slightly less hot air filter in, but there wasn't a whole ton in the rain gauges. Tonight, we're seeing what little we have out there diminishing, and we're going to go mostly dry again through the overnight into your day on Saturday. Big Essence Fest weekends, lots of activities. We're going to continue to stay mostly dry with a spotty shower or storm in the afternoon, and then we'll pick up that rain coverage going into your Sunday. Tonight for fireworks, though, I think it looks great. Mostly the storms are just out of here. But when you do look at that trade-off, hey, you got more rain, maybe takes the temperature down a little bit. Less rain, that's going to bump us up, and you also feel a little bit more of that humidity. Right now, looking good. Blue sky across the region. Low 90s out there, that 92 with a dew point of 73. You say, oh, well, it feels like 102. That actually feels better than when we have some of those extreme temperatures around. So enjoy the evening if you can. Hopefully things will be looking real great for you. Your extended forecast here, pretty standard summer. We'll talk more about it coming up in your Weather Authority forecast a little bit later on in the hour.
All right.